And it looks like, who's that coming in? Is that Marcy? Hello? Anyway, appropriations should hear budget bills Thursday. We'll get a little clear idea what the budget's going to look like. The word coming out of the Capitol from the governor's side, his proposal looks like a 2% cut for higher ed, 0% cut for teachers and MFP, a small cut for healthcare, which is much better scenario than a couple weeks ago when everybody was asked to submit 5 to 15% cut proposals. So budget's looking like we'll be okay for this year. 2022 is rather scary considering the state of the economy. I have been in a lot of different meetings in the last week, and it's pretty clear to me that there are plans underway with each district that you guys may be going to school off and on. I mean, there are plans coming out that are telling your supervisors and superintendents to have contingency plans to teach online as well as teach in person. And you all know that Tangipahoa has already announced that students and parents can choose to go to school completely online next year, or they can choose to blend their students' education. There's Marcy. Marcy's gonna update us on LATA for Samantha in a moment. So it's clear that if you don't have an online credential, credential students can take in a blended format, and there's an opportunity this summer for you to get one. That's going to be really important for the. It's going to be really important moving forward. For instance, C4M. I think C4M is kind of based online, and it's meant for a blended model where you teach in the classroom and students can do their work on the Chromebook. It's very clear to me that we're going to be one-to-one technology-wise on a statewide level coming into the near future. That's the goal anyway. Those are the plans that are being pushed out to supervisors and superintendents to prepare for. So if you have an opportunity to retool yourself with a credential that can be taught in a blended format, C4M or the Electrical Training Alliance credential would be a great thing for you to have that going into the fall. We're going to offer, I know of 3 opportunities this summer to get credentialed, 2 at LATA that I'll let Marcy discuss because I know they had a conference call today, and 1 is coming up June 24th. I haven't received any information rather than a text message from the IBEW that they will be doing an Electrical Training Alliance event for teachers of all kinds to get certified on June the 24th. As soon as I receive information, I'll share it out with you guys through the update, and you can sign up and take the Electrical Training Alliance curriculum online. A lot of different ideas being thrown around about how to do a blended model with welding and carpentry. As far as, you bring kids in on Fridays to do the performance stuff and let them do the modules at home. And there are no clear answers because we don't know what next year is going to look like. We don't know if parishes are going to be allowed to shut schools down and reopen them, or if it's going to be a statewide control. There's a lot of things up in the air. On your end, I think you need to get a credential that'll allow you to get kids certified between school and home, between a blended model. Agriculture Tech, I think most people are certified in Agriculture Tech. Agriculture Tech now has an online proctoring system, so we can certify students with Agriculture Tech even in a blended model. So I think we're sitting pretty good as far as statewide certifications go there. There will be a joint letter sent out from the LSU Ag Center and the Louisiana Department of Ag and Forestry to all superintendents, all 64 parishes, and I assume they'll send them out to the independent school districts as well. That I don't have a time frame for that. It was suggested yesterday in the Resilient Louisiana Commission Agriculture Task Force meeting. Dr. Strain, Dr. Richardson are working on a cover letter to put with some of the materials that we have created. with staff in the FFA office, and that should be going out. So when that hits the superintendent's desk, you may hear about it, you may not, but be aware we're pitching to open up more programs. We're trying to grow FFA across the state. There's a lot of interest in agriculture and local food sustainability and teaching people best practices for everything from backyard chickens to growing tomato plants, and we need to capitalize on that. We're looking forward to doing that. So that's where we're at on a big picture scale politically. That's all I've got, Mr. Lejeune. If you guys don't mind, I'm going to leave out. I guess this will be a good time to announce that we're going to move this weekly update to a bi-weekly update, just because school's out, and our intention was to have the weekly teacher update during the COVID shutdown. And of course, with schools completely shutting down around this time of year, next week would have probably been everybody's last week, and there would have been downtime between the last day of school and convention. We're gonna follow that model and return this to a bi-weekly, and we may wait till the 1st of June to start the bi-weekly. But we'll announce it in our updates for folks moving forward. That the weekly teacher update it'll turn into a bi-monthly or a monthly update as far as these live conference calls. So that's all I've got, Mr. Lejeune.
Thank you, Dr. Smith. Mr. Jerry, do you have a foundation update for us? And then Ms. Mahler will go to you for LATA after that.
Yes, Mr. Lejeune, I've got an update. As of yesterday, we met. I went to the FFA office for the first time, signifying, for me at least, a return to normalcy of some sorts. Met with Ms. Brooke Como, and we have distributed between the 55 expo vendors a list in which we'll attack. Brooke will handle the educational institutions, sales, t-shirt sales companies and clothiers. Mr. Boyce, myself will handle the over 2 to 3 dozen corporate sponsors in which they sponsor a variety of proficiency awards and whatnot. That'll give me the opportunity to reconvene with those individuals and discuss with them partnerships, sponsorship dollars, make sure that we retain the sponsors that have been a part of the FFA Foundation's past, and try and line them up for the future as well. Happy to report that I had a wonderful conversation this morning with Mr. Harrison Long, who is with the Bunge Corporation in Destrehan, Louisiana. Harrison's a former past state officer in the Mississippi FFA, and I'm happy to report that Bunge will be coming on board as an expo sponsor and a sponsor of the foundation in general. So we're happy to announce that. On a macro level, like I said, it's just very refreshing to see our office open back up on LSU's Parker Coliseum campus. Really good to go in there and see the hard work of our state staff supporting you guys in the LATA. So if there aren't any questions, that's all on my report.
Thank you, Mr. Boyce. Ms. Mahler, do you have an LATA update for us?
Kate.
Yes, sir.
Let me pause it. Mr. Brumley just got the 8 votes necessary to become the superintendent. We got exactly 8 votes. And Jessica Bagman got 6. So looks like Kate Brumley is going to be the new state superintendent of education.
Well, his mama gave him a good first name, if nothing else. Ms. Mahler, do you have an LATA update for us?
I do. Good morning, everybody. So as of now, we are moving forward with that LATA conference. We've been in contact with Cypress Bend. They can hold up to about 200 ag teachers at 50% capacity at that point if the governor moves in that direction. So we are moving forward with our conference. You can get the block rate until the end of June. So if you haven't made your reservations, please do so and get that block rate. We are going to hold a union carpentry training, which will include some type of online venture that they're coming out with in July. So we'll be the first ones learning about that aspect. We're going to hold it on the Monday and the Tuesday. So July 20th and 21st will be the actual dates. There will be a registration fee. You will be able to register, and then your district will be able to pay that straight to the union carpentry. It will not be made out to the LATA. It's going to go straight there. Your lunch will be provided on Monday during lunch, but breakfast and supper you'll have to do on your own. We are still accepting. Sorry, guys.
I hear the school announcements all day long at the freshman high here also, so I guess everybody's getting back to it.
Sorry about that. It is our first day back at work, and we
That's
have
okay.
about 7,000 of those today. So I don't. Oh, we are still accepting applications for Ag Teacher Hall of Fame. Those are due by June 1st. The link is on the LATA website webpage under laffa.org. And also, we are accepting nominations or applications for NAAE awards. And currently, we have no teacher turn the key. And every state awards one and gets to attend the conference. So, that's a good one if you're 3 years to 5 years. That's a good one to fill out if you're a new teacher. But we are accepting all NAAE applications at this time. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me or Samantha, and we'll be happy to answer them or kind of help you through anything on the training or any questions moving forward.
Thank you, Marcy. If no one has questions for her, I'll move on with our FFA update. Let me pull the screen up again. Not as much on it for you today. A few things I'd want to share. First off, thank you so much to all of you who volunteered to grade proficiency awards and state degrees and STAR awards. The feedback that I got from teachers is that the process was really efficient, that you appreciated having a longer amount of time to sit down and thoroughly go through the applications, that the electronic submission form was easy to use. I think that absolutely going forward, we're going to continue to use some form of this process to do our award grading. I think it was too easy. It makes too much sense to be able to do this digitally. So look for that going into the future, that we're going to get away from paper grading like we did for so long. We are planning to share the state degree list at some point this week. I'm waiting for the final word from that committee about ones that did not get accepted. I'll make sure to share that with teachers along with the rationale, but by the end of the week, look for the state degree list to be sent out. We're planning to release some form of social media big fancy announcement around June 15th to give you the winners of all the proficiency areas and national chapter award. That will give you about a month and a half to get your applications fixed up before they have to be submitted to national FFA. So be looking for that to be shared. Lainey's going to start working on it. I visited with her yesterday about what it'll look like. It'll probably be some sort of video with voiceover music highlighting all of our winners, and we'll pull the pictures directly from their award applications. I will be sending out, along with the update later today, each year we send out a form so that your students can rank their SAEs based on which ones they would prefer to win if they applied in multiple areas. So please have them do those quickly, like within the week, so that we can make sure we have all of our first place winners in those correct categories. If you had students working on the American degree, please make sure to check your email. Yesterday, I sent out a list of all the students who have submitted that for national review. If you don't see your student's name on that list, it means they did not submit the application, and I don't want to miss anyone. So let me know. We'll work with that student to make sure they get it submitted so I can get those over to National FFA by the end of the week. Once they go to National FFA, they're going to review them for us, and if there's any issues, they will give the student an opportunity to correct it before they're officially awarded. So that's why we get them turned in May. Moving on to state convention. If you missed the announcement last Friday on the 15th, the revised schedule is posted on the convention page of our website. If you go to our website to the convention page, take a look at it, you'll see the revised schedule posted there. As we've been saying, this is all still very tentative because we don't know what's going to happen as the summer goes on, but we're confident that that August date still looks good as far as being able to hold an in-person convention. We're going to hold off on opening registration until we hear the governor's announcement on June 1st concerning whether or not the state moves to phase 2. If we move to phase 2, I'm going to be even more excited about the prospect of convention happening in August. That means we'll be progressing in the right direction. So be on the lookout for his announcement on June 1st, and then we'll make a determination of when to open registration after that. As we previously announced, you'll have to re-register and you'll have to re-reserve your housing. All of that got canceled whenever we postponed convention. I spoke with the Alexandria CVB yesterday. The Riverfront Center is preparing their facility for upcoming events, but they will absolutely have sanitation and social distancing procedures in effect as soon as they're allowed to reopen. At 25% capacity, the Riverfront Center can only accommodate about 230 people in the meeting hall. So clearly that is not anywhere near large enough for our convention, which is why we're not having it in June. I'm going to be visiting with Mark Jones, the director there, over the next few days about what increasing capacities look like. But just be prepared if you're going to bring students to state convention. The 6-foot social distance, the wearing of masks, the sanitizing your hands, that's all going to be a requirement, as is going to be required for most public gatherings for the foreseeable future. So just have that in mind as we're getting ready for convention. Again, if you go to our website, we have the web page that has all of the current updates that are going on. We've updated those as we've gone. If you missed it, the State Poultry CDE is going to be held in conjunction with the State Livestock CDE on Saturday, August 29th. That'll be along with 4-H. That's on a Saturday. So please reference this page regularly as we update schedules as we get more clarity going through the summer. We're still asking chapters to register for the virtual state officer election. That registration is going to close on Friday. So if you haven't registered your chapter to vote, please make sure you do that. If you don't register, you won't be able to participate because you won't have your delegate codes. So please make sure you go to the website. You see it there, and I'll share it again in the update to make sure that your delegates are registered. We're going to be holding a practice run next week of the election process so that your delegates will have plenty of time to get online and see what the interface will look like and practice using their voting codes. For those of you who have state officer candidates, they still have resources available. Sarah and Caitlin have been doing appointment meetings with all of the candidates for about the past week and a half. They're going to continue doing that. If you have a candidate and they want advice, they want to visit with Sarah and Caitlin about the process, they have the link of how to request those visits. So please make sure you utilize it. We're going to be updating those also. I know Relin is meeting with the state nominating committee again here in a few days as they keep prepping for that process. We announced last week that National Band and Chorus are still taking applications. Feel free to register for those. We still have 2 positions posted. We just added a new one on the website for Natchitoches Central. They're looking for an ag teacher. So please, if you know of anyone who wants a job, send them to our website and look on that jobs link. The American Legion scholarship application closed on Monday. They're going to be graded by the foundation board, and we will announce a recipient on June 1st. So if you have students who applied for that award, tell them to be on the lookout for June 1st, and they will hear the results of who gets awarded the scholarship. That's all I have for you today. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you, Dr. Smith.
Yep. Thanks everybody for coming. We'll announce when we'll meet again in this format after Cade and I've talked. There's there's some time, but it won't be a weekly event moving forward. It'll be bi-weekly or monthly. So stay tuned, guys, and I appreciate everything y'all are doing. Have a good week.